So many of us are heading over to the movie theater to go see Star Wars Revenge of the Sith Episode 3. Why? Because it is the 20th anniversary release of that movie. Can you believe it? 20 years. So today we're going to take a look at an updated version of Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. Let's get at it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Collector's Outpost. I am John. So yeah, many of us are heading on over to the theater to see something we could watch at home. Crazy, right? They have made millions already on the re-release of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith Episode 3 because it is such a loved movie. Now, I remember the first time around when these movies got released, they weren't as loved as what they are now, but the kids, the generation that grew up with those movies being their first Star Wars movies, we're all back in the theater. And let's face it, man, Anakin is probably one of the most beloved characters in Star Wars. This is an updated version of a lightsaber that we took a look at, what was it, about a year or so ago? When did Ahsoka come out? Year and a half ago, before the making of this video. And we took a look at the brass release of the Anakin Episode 3. This is virtually the same lightsaber, but I'm getting emails and everything now that everyone's going out to go see Episode 3 in the theater. Everybody's inspired. You want to get your hands on an Anakin Episode 3. Which version should I get? And I only had that video from about a year ago to send everybody to check out. However, that was an older chassis. I actually didn't even like that chassis. You couldn't really get to the SD card. And those chassis have been pretty much replaced with these beautiful new chassis that have LEDs and everything in it. So what we wanted to do, Vader Sabers sent over the newest version. It's the same thing, brass body and everything. We'll take a quick look at that. But the thing I want to show you, because it was not in the old video, which has over 25,000 views already, the chassis. The chassis is important on this one because when I was sending the video out to a few of you, you got the lightsaber and then you got it in hand and it was a different chassis. You were like, oh my God, this chassis is so much better than the one you showed in the video. So I do want to thank Vader Sabers for sending this updated version on over. I'll put a direct link and discount code for you down in the description if you want to check this out and everything else that Vader Sabers has to offer, including my very own custom designed lightsaber that are exclusive to Vader Sabers. But I'll put direct links to both of those down below as well if you want to check those out, and do use that discount code to save yourself a couple bucks. Before we dig on into this, if you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by for a new lightsaber review. Drop on down below, hit the like, subscribe, and notification button for upcoming videos. I've got a ton of lightsabers, and this year I'm going to a lot of cons, a lot of toy cons and stuff like that, so I've been enjoying the heck out of those things. If you want to help support the channel just a tiny little bit, do drop down and hit that join button. That extra support does really help continue to make videos on this channel. So thank you to all my YouTube channel members. You guys are all so amazing. And thank you to everybody for just coming on in for an unboxing video. Now, let's get on into this unboxing. I'm gonna pull everything out and get everything on the table. All right, here we go. We have everything out on the table here. We obviously have the Anakin Episode 3 lightsaber. This is a stunning version of it. Has some really nice weight. I'll give you a quick measurement of the weight in just a bit, but inside we also get our charging cables and some extra tools in case for whatever reason you do lose your grip. Sometimes they do come off over time. We actually have a couple extra grips that are ready to go. We have ourselves a blade plug. This is a 7/8 blade, and this looks absolutely beautiful in there. Now on the bottom you'll see we do have that vented pommel, but they do give us a display pommel. That way it looks really screen accurate when you put this up on the display. And we do have a display stand along with an Anakin Episode 3 plaque. It says Anakin Skywalker Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith High-End Collector's Edition and Vader Sabers logo over there. And bam, you have a beautiful Anakin Episode 3 display. Now, let me show you the important reason why I wanted to do this update. Here is the original one that we looked at about a year or so ago when the Ahsoka show came out. But this is what the update is. When I originally reviewed it, this was the chassis. Very plain. After that video, I actually had to go in there and cut a big chunk of the chassis out to even get to the SD card to put some extra sound fonts on there. This was just an annoying chassis. I think I've actually said it a few times on the show that this SD card with the design of this sat right underneath the lip and you just couldn't get to the card. We have these new chassis which are stunning, and this is the chassis that everybody's getting now. These, look at this. This is beautiful. SD card is super easy to get at. We've got the gold plated back piece here which is lined with LED lights on the inside. On the back we have a kill switch. USB-C charging port, 18650 battery, and we got new connectors at the top. The old one had these steps on it, which had to be inserted in a very specific way, and everyone was putting it in there and twisting and breaking pins. Some still come like this, but I'm glad that they've updated it to more of these pins here. Now, what I love about this chassis, you can turn this bad boy on, and we have lights all on the inside there. Love that. Look at that. And this is the SNV4 Pro, and you can use the mobile app to configure a lot of the settings in this. Let's pull that out. So the last version, the buttons were here. So it was a 2-button, and we had the bottom and the top here. Now this one, our buttons are these up here, these little greedly sections. So we have our auxiliary and our power in the front. So that's another thing I wanted to point out compared to the last version of it, because the buttons are completely configured differently. Now let's configure this. This is the Force Park V2 app. Now I have this set for a much shorter blade. I had a Shoto blade on here, like a little daggery kind of thing. So let's configure this for this 32-inch blade. So let's go on into the data section, and where it says light length, which I wish it said blade length, move this somewhere up to about 110, and then we'll check it. And also I want to speed this up a little bit more. So let's go up to 5. This is the out blade speed and the in blade speed. So it's nice that you can kind of configure that. However, I do believe it's global. It will affect every blade across the whole soundboard. So it's not set for each individual sound font. It's kind of globally. And then let's check the length here. This is a 32-inch, so let's see where we are. All right, so we need a little bit more. I think it's 115 for the 32s. About 115, it looks like 116 tops it off. All right, perfect. Now I already have my flicker blade turned on, but you can go in here and go into public blade effects, and there are tons of blade styles that you can load right into your Saber. Yeah, so down at the bottom, you get to audition what is gonna happen on that blade style, which is really cool. Blasters and force effects and stuff like that. Let's go pull up another blade style. It's really cool because you get to preview them. Here's your clash, stab effect, blasters, force effect, and your auditions for different like lockups, tip drag, and melt and stuff like that. Let's go drag, see that, and then melt. Pretty much the same thing, it's just a slightly different effect. Lockup, you have the lockup over there in the middle, which is it's really cool, man. And on your main page, you can audition everything and flip through all your stuff. So you can power that on. You've got your blaster blocks, lockup, clash, force, melt, stab, tip drag, which is all the way at the other end there. And then scroll down below, you can swap your blade colors out. Under that, you have your sound fonts. And under that, you can flip through your sound fonts and your blade effects and stuff like that.
Unstable pulse, rainbow, infinite wave, blade, fire, blade, flash, crack, custom, blade, custom.
So this is one of the flicker blades that I loaded in, and it's custom blade too. And then down here, you have the different boot style effects.
Standard ignition. Hunter ignition. Cross ignition. Phaser ignition.
But I'm just gonna leave mine on standard. I really don't mess around with those other styles. You do get a user guide for your app and everything, so do go through that if you don't know much about that, and a whole walkthrough on the hilt itself, because you can do a lot of these settings as far as changing the volume, colors, and all that on the hilt itself. Now, one of my favorite things about the SN Pixels is that they sound quite a bit better than the Xenos. There is no perfect version. I'm always getting asked, like, do I prefer an SN Pixel or a Xeno? I don't prefer either one of them because there's things and elements about each one that the other one doesn't have that I wish I can smash them both together. But the SN Pixel sounds fantastic. Got a really, really nice tone. So we got our blasters. We got our flasher on Clash. We have our lockup. We do have our twist on and twist off. If you want to change the color on the fly, you can hold upside down, hold your auxiliary button and give a twist. You hold your power for 1 count and it'll change your ignitions.
Cross ignition. Phaser ignition.
And you can change the blade styles by holding your auxiliary for about a second.
Unstable blade. Pulse blade. Rainbow blade. Infinite blade.
So if you just got out of the theater to go check out episode 3 at the 20th anniversary and you want an Anakin lightsaber because it just inspired you, this is the saber to get. All right, that is about it, my friends. Let me know what you think down below in the comments of this Anakin episode 3 updated lightsaber. And while you're down there, do hit the like, subscribe, and notification button for upcoming videos. I got a ton of lightsabers just sitting right here, ready to go, that I don't think you're gonna wanna miss. All right, I'll see you all on the next video. Be safe and kind out there in the world. See ya.